So hi everyone, my name is Nastasia and I'm happy to welcome you on our webinar. And today we will talk about how to unlock Snapchat ads potential with Conversions API. Maurizio, please, next slide. I will guide you. Okay, just a few minutes. In a few minutes, I will give a word to our great speakers, Maurizio from Snapchat and then from Stape. And Maurizio, yes, you will introduce yourself just in 30 seconds. Really, it will take me 30 seconds to finish. Yeah. Please, next slide. But first, I will just give you a short intro of what will happen today. First of all, we will talk about the power of Snapchat ads. Then we will introduce you Snap Conversions API and how it improves ad performance. Then we will talk a little on Snap Conversions API implementation options, which one to choose. And in the end, we will have a live demo and show how to set up Snap CAPI gateway. And in the very end, we will answer questions. Please, my last slide. And after the webinar, you will not right after the webinar, it will take us few more days to prepare everything, but we will send you the webinar recording and written guides on Snap Conversions API setup options. And also all the questions that will be mentioned today, we will also send you like written answers. So that's it from my side. Now let's jump to the best part. Maurizio, please enjoy. Now your turn.
You're setting up very high expectations here, but thank you for introducing me as such. Hi, guys. Very, very happy to meet you all, at least virtually. Today, I really want to jump in and discuss why Snapchat is such a relevant platform for your business. If you really want to thrive, take a look at the numbers that we can provide on our platform. For those of you who wondered how many actual users are on the platform every day, take a look at 453 million that daily use our platform. Those are big numbers. If you look at the same number on a monthly base, that goes up to 850 million global people who open the Snapchat app up to 40 times a day to check their message, talk to their friends, see new content. That really puts us in a trajectory to get to over 1 billion users monthly just in the next few years. Those are obviously eyeballs you want to be very interesting with for your business. What's relevant is that because the app has been around for quite a few years at this point, we have been able to really grow in age with our audience. So today, 75% of the users on our app are in the 13 to 34 age range. And this is valid across the world in over 25 countries. This, even more specifically, means that nearly 1 in 4 Snapchatters are 35 years older and more. Those are obviously coming with the wallet of elder generation. What's also very, very important is that these audiences are just unique to Snapchat. You don't find the same audiences on different platforms. This is just a mention of some of the big platforms that are available out there. And if we want to pick, for instance, TikTok, 40% of US Snapchatters are not on TikTok daily. And this is very much in the nature of the app. Snapchat is a platform to communicate with your friends, to message your friends. Therefore, you have a lot of daily adoption and utilization. Now, as we were saying, because our generation really goes in a wide range of age ranges, they move a lot of purchasing power. We evaluate that at over $5 trillion every year, which again is definitely something for your business to take into account. Once again, very important when we look at how is Snapchat and how is the content that you can find on Snapchat really relevant in moving those $5 trillion. Because the app itself was born as a communication method between you and your friends, you really trust the advices you get on the platform because those are your friends, right? So when we look at the power of really influencing a purchase decision that the different platforms have, we outdo the whole competition. 56% of users do have the ability to say Snapchat has influenced me in my purchase decision. once again, big numbers to keep in mind to make sure that you invest in the platform that really can deliver results for you. Now, those are the numbers, but what does the product look like? We've been investing a lot over the past few years to really change what the app look like, what the formats available to you are, and most importantly, what the signals that we want to provide to you to optimize your results are. New formats, new ad solutions. You will see that a lot of that has been around performance and new data. Those are the three important things that we've been working on. Let's start with how we've been completely rehauling our direct performance business. Through a number of implementations, some of which I will show to you shortly, we have been able to really change how much the impact of direct performance is on the platform. Now, over 75% was the increase that we've seen in purchase-related conversion. This has happened through a number of product innovation. First and foremost, let me remind you what the app look like. What are the possibilities for you guys to really monetize on the app? Some of these are very similar, and you might have heard of them also across different platforms. The first, most editorial, most refined type of ads you can do on the platform are the so-called Snap ads. Those are available both in your friend and in your spotlight area. They are longer in length and they can contain CTA. Story ads, which, by the way, we invented as a platform, are the different one that you can only find in the friend section. And these are very much the ones that have multiple tiles, if you will, multiple cuts, up to 100, and each of which can last up to 10 seconds. The last one is a very unique placement to Snap. Those are the AR lenses that can be found directly in the camera tab, and they can be pre-capture, so lenses and AR that I apply before I take a picture, or filters that I apply post-capture after I've taken a picture. This is a very unique placement to Snap and what really made the difference and made us fun. Now, in terms of tools that we've really launched to optimize how direct performance works and succeeds on the platform. First and foremost, 7.0 optimization windows. 7-day click, 0-day view. This is really different than what we offered before and is really meant to help those who want to optimize for a quick conversion on the platform. This is something that is available across the board, across the advertisers that we have, and is really geared towards the lower funnel adoption. So whenever you want to buy new media placement on Snap, you would have to select sales or app promotion, the lower funnel bidding strategies that we have, and then you can select the 7.0 optimization. Just to give you one of the many, many, many examples of success stories that we've seen, James Allen is a jeweler retailer online. Just by adopting this new optimization window, have been able to really see a plus 700% in transaction. Big numbers. This can be used again directly on Ads Manager and can be used, what we advise, with auto bid, which means that the CPA is adjusted based on the algorithm that we provide with media buying. But for those of you who already have a very specific CPA in mind, we've recently completely changed and updated our target CPA, which is also available with 7.0, what we just discussed. With this newly updated TCPA, what we are delivering is the possibility to stay very close to the target cost per action that you guys have in mind. You guys have maybe already understood from other platforms or from your experience, and we're really able to provide result without changing the CPA. Some of the big numbers that we're seeing now, this is a brand new launch, so I'm sure we will keep on getting more success stories coming in. Another big piece, this is somewhat showing you guys what's really happening in the background, because this is testing at this point. But we've heard all the requests from our clients, from the market. We are integrating with Google Analytics. Now, finally, we are able to really announce this. At this point, we have this beta integration that allows for you guys to automatically push all your GA data into Snap. Why we're doing this is because we really want to refine and optimize our system to then be able to buy based on GA findings. This is coming down the line, but if I were you, I would hop on this opportunity, go on Ads Manager, talk to your sales reps if you have one, and really make sure you start pushing your data into Snap Ads Manager. And this is the fun stuff. I love this because this is once again a unique placement we only have at Snap. We have finally started monetizing on the chat tab. Now, the chat tab is the second one you find in your experience when you open the app. And we launch what we call sponsor snaps. Now, hundreds of millions of people every day, as I was saying, open the app, check it up to 40 times to communicate with their friends, find absolute connection with the people they're really close to. And now we're launching a brand new placement directly in the chat tab. Each and every one today is already available and eligible more so if they are spending on pixel purchase, which is what we're saying, with 7.0, the optimization, and targeting US advertiser. So if you're doing this, you might already be able to be eligible for this placement. The way it works is the extension of your normal campaign with the same assets will be presented in the thread. And you can even decide to further customize this by adding, for instance, an automated response after the first asset. As I was saying, this is already available specifically for this criteria, targeting the US, but we're planning to roll out more widely, even for additional goal bidding strategies between now and the rest of the year. So this is really cool stuff. I am absolutely passionate about this launch. Now, this is a big picture on where we are as a platform, why we really make a difference and can make a difference for your business. Let's go and look specifically at the signal and data piece with the Conversion API. A reminder, I'm very sure that everybody on the line is very aware about the differences between these tools, but just to remind everyone. Now, we do have the Snap Pixel. This has been present for years, and this is very much a snippet piece of code that you want to apply to each page of your website. It's really dependent on the cookie that your browser can send to us and allows for a very specific event-based type of passage of signals from you to us to optimize the performance. You find all the results of that in Events Manager, directly within Snapchat Ads Manager. The Conversion API we have developed as we were looking at a future that would have been cookieless, right? To really enhance privacy and get equal type of signals. This allows to connect your server and pass potentially all the events that happen on your website without a page-by-page implementation directly to our server. And Stape is the beautiful option you guys have to really implement this very quickly. Why do we want to keep both as part of the equation? Because numbers speak for themselves. We have seen that implementing both really have a drastic impact on performances and results. To give you some numbers, when you have both the Pixel and the CAPI implemented, we see on average a 22% increase in attributable purchases. You understand that this purchase comes from Snap. You also have an increase in the value of these purchases, approximately 25% higher than without the implementation of both. And the big number also we want to look at, the cost per purchase decreases, minus 18%. These are generic and average numbers that we've seen. But when we look at the success stories of some of these clients, the numbers don't change. If anything, they go even higher. Just to give you a couple of examples, this is a My Watches case studies, a retailer from Middle East. We've seen by implementing both solution, a plus 300% increase in ROAS, big numbers. Similarly, another retailer also from Middle East, Dabdoob, who really sells, it's an app that sells experiences for kids. They have seen a decrease in cost per purchase of 62%. Those are available. You can take I'll look at even more success stories on the adoption of CAPI and Pixel. If you go to Snap, directly on Snap for Business, the website, and check under success stories, you will see quite a few great stories. Now, I really want to pause here because this is an important North Star that you really want to keep in mind every time you look at your ads manager. What is the way for you to understand, am I putting myself in the best spot to succeed on Snap? The best indicator of success and success potential is going to be what we call EQS, Event Quality Score. You can see it when you navigate to Ads Manager right on top on the right, because you will be given an indication of how good is your setup for signals, as that is the first indicator of success potential. You would see 4 potential indicators. One is not available. That's not a good state. You definitely want to change your status. You can see poor, you can see okay, or you can see good, which is exactly where you want to get to. This is our way to calculate, based on the signals you're able to share with us, how good are you positioned to really succeed on the platform. This is available for you 24/7, and it's also enriched with very important recommendations. So in the case we tell you, hey, actually your setup is poor, so you want to work on that, we also give you exact recommendations on what you should be doing. For instance, pass more phone number coverage, for instance, exactly what could be done, and we help you with the setup process of solution, if that makes sense. So please take a look at that first thing after this webinar. Go take a look at what your EQS looks like. This is very much the canonical way to success. Make sure you have a full implementation. Remember, Pixel plus CAPI. Use Stape. That's a beautiful solution for you guys to get started on that. Make sure and monitor your EQS. You want to get to good always. And we promise you will be positioned to have better results in your ROAS, in your ROI, everything you're looking at. This is the way to get to success. I'll close these quick introduction on Snap by giving you some snippets. This is also something you want to write down. You're going to receive it afterwards, but abide to this wholeheartedly to really find the best success on Snap. What are the 6 steps you really want to follow to say, I am bringing my business from A to Z to 100 by working on Snap? First and foremost, use Snap as you might do with other platforms by creating what we call a profile. It's the best introduction for your business to the world. You want to make sure you add and pin your stories. Any lens that you might use, you want to make sure that people can find the details about your business. And with a profile, with a public profile, you also have access to new features that we're going to be rolling out. Namely, Sponsor Snap require you to have a public profile. Number 2, once you have that, make also sure that you have all the signals in place, so Pixel and CAPI. 3, when you have content that you want to either promote or directly push with advertising, make sure to use either AutoBid, the automated bidding with CPA, or if you have a specific target cost in mind, go and use TCPA, as we recently relaunched. 4, make sure to really use the 7-0 optimization window. This is what we discussed. If you're working on direct response and you want to see quicker results, that's your best bet. 5 is know your audience. You might already have a very clear understanding of who your audience is. If you don't, or even if you just want to update what your knowledge is, go on Ads Manager for Snapchat, and you can also find the Audience Insight feature. That gives you a beautiful picture of actually who you want to go after and how you want to refine your targeting. Last but not least, we have a number of different formats, as I was saying to you. Try them all. See what works best for you, but always keep in mind to try and spend at least 75% of your total budget on Snap ads, which give you definitely a boost in results. And remember, Sponsor Snap is already included with eligible pixel purchase and 7.0 if you're targeting US Snapchatters and you have the public profile. I hope these 6 tips are useful to you. I would love to learn if any of you use this and find success. This is really what we love at Snap, the success of our clients. Now, I'll pass it on to Dan for more in-depth implementation of your product.
Amazing. Thank you, Maurito. That's put me in a tough spot. That's hard to follow. That was a very coherent presentation. Right. So let me just share my screen. I'll go back to the same presentation and we can do this. Right. And here we are. Right. So gateway versus server-side integration, right? As you may have already heard from Maurizio's presentation, you can report to Conversion API directly, or you can use the gateway product, which will be the focus of this demo that I'm going to do. But real quick, how to integrate Snap Conversion API, right? You have pretty much 2 routes. So the Snap Conversion API gateway takes you less than a minute to set up. We're going to check that today. Will probably take us a couple of minutes, but the principle stands. You will not need any technical knowledge in order to do that. The implementation assumes you already have a running pixel, whichever one that might be. So that's the gateway, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. Snap Conversion API via SGTM. Well, I come from Stape, so obviously SGTM is mentioned here. That allows you for some more customization. If you have any business requirements to maybe redact your data, maybe enrich your data, or anything, that would also probably make sense for people who are already running server-side GTM. And important enough, it allows you for your offline conversion tracking if you want to do that, right? If you already have some data funnels running into your server side, you can use it for offline conversion tracking to Snap. Obviously, the con here is you require some technical know-how. You need to navigate your server GTM and understand what you're doing. But I think eventually we're going to have a separate webinar specifically on that to help you guys do that. But for today, we're gonna focus on the gateway implementation. So I'm gonna close the presentation right now, and let's just do this. Right. So like I said, I'm going to assume you already have a pixel, right? In here, I have one. Let's switch to this webinar today. It's an empty pixel in my case because I haven't really done anything with it. There's no website running this. So what we can do is we can click this button, which says Set up Conversion API, and you're going to select Conversion API Gateway. Go next. Now you have 2 choices. Real quick, you can host it yourself. Again, that will require probably support of your IT department, and you're gonna run the infrastructure to make it all go live and everything. That's not why we gathered here. So we're gonna say set up with Stape, which will just land you here on this beautiful page. And without further ado, let's just start the 7-day free trial, right? I want to stress out there's no commitment. I'm going to show you you're not even required to enter your credit card details or anything. So for the 7 days, you can enjoy this, test this, and hopefully that will increase your event score, right? Like Mauricio said. So you can check it before you commit. Pressing that button, we're going to give it an email. I'm going to use a disposable one, so feel free to spam me here. I'm not going to see it ever. So let's just copy this here. Gateway name is arbitrary. You can name it whatever. So I'm just going to do demo webinar. And I'm going to accept the Stape terms of use and privacy notice. I urge you to read through that eventually. So let's take that. You can pick a server location. We're only giving you 2, North America and Europe. So choose whatever is closest to your business. I'm going to do US just because, I don't really care in the end. Let's hit create. Email has been sent, so we're going to check our mailbox here, open this up, and this is my login, and we're going to set a password. So let me just do that real quick. Again, sign up for marketing emails because we're sending some interesting stuff there. Let's save this. Right. This is the subscription plan, right? You can go for pay-as-you-go, 10 months per pixel, which I assume most of you going to pick. But like I promised, you can click this button and say add card later and just skip this whole financial thing. You will be greeted by a dog, say hello. Your conversion API gateway is already deployed and running. And what remains to be done is go and finish the setup via this button. Let's go ahead and do that. We are now in a Conversion API Gateway V product as developed by Snapchat. So we're going to log in with our account. We're going to give it access to our Ads Manager organization. Let's give it a second. I am already logged in, so there wasn't a prompt for password or anything. Now, this is what's called the Gateway Hub, right? In here, we are already in, and we now need to connect our pixel to this thing in order to benefit from the product. So I'm going to go and hit Add Data Source, which again will prompt me to log in, I believe. Give it a second. Yes, I'm going to choose the Business Manager. I'm going to choose the Add Account. And then we're choosing this pixel that I created for the webinar. And let's hit Continue. So we're almost done, as you can see. So let's go ahead. Let's give it another set of permissions real quick. And we're going to confirm pixel connection. This is our pixel ID and the pixel name. We're going to hit connect. And voila, you're essentially done. So I don't have a timer, but I think it took us like a couple of minutes. So what this means, and you can see the connected badge here, this means that your existing pixel, that snippet that was discussed, which you already run on your website, has now started sending information through this Conversion API gateway in parallel to your pixel. So again, to recap, we did nothing technical. We did zero code. I just went through a couple of UI flows, and here we are. Your pixel will now be receiving Conversion API signal. Right. The last thing to do here is there's not much for you to do. You're going to see some stats while the enough events aggregate. So the last thing you want to do is go to data routing. And as you can see, it says optimize data routing to improve performance using a first-party domain. So the idea is you want to create a DNS record that will be pointed to this gateway instance, which we've just created. So let me do something just for a demo. I'm going to say something like this. And it will prompt you with information that you want to put in your DNS manager, right? Whichever your domain is. So you create that CNAME record, you point it to whatever URL is going to be here. You hit next. The system is going to validate it. It's not going to do this for me. I don't have control over Stape domain, but you get the point. Once this is confirmed, that further improves the connection between your pixel and the gateway, because it pretty much allows for first-party context. The cookies are more persistent. There's some resistance to things like ad blockers here and there. So I urge you to do this if you have control over the domain where your pixel is running. I think that's pretty much it, right? There's not much for me to tell. Again, so you will have with this a Stape account, which is like a hosting for the product that we just discussed. You don't need to add a credit card or anything. You can do it later after your trial expires. In the gateway itself, you're going to see the pixel that you have connected. You can do more. You can connect more pixels ultimately. And I urge you to always create a subdomain and complete its setup by verifying. And afterwards, you can go to your pixel. And if we had any events here, we could, click on them and see their match score, like Maurizio told you. And eventually you're going to see that Conversion API is also connected. I mean, you're going to see it from the pixel side. And right. So for instance, this is our pixel. It's not active at this point. Once you actually connect Conversion API and we send some signal, this is going to be lit green, which is a good indicator. And yeah, that will ultimately increase your return on ad spend, improve your campaign optimization, and all of that goodness that Maurizio went through. So yeah, I think I'm done with the demo. I'm sorry this is dull, but the whole point is, like I said, no technical knowledge. We just did it in a couple of minutes, and you can probably do this before the hour ends. So thanks everyone for the attention.